And welcome for what has been a stressful getting everybody online. We hooked 3 people up. We got Camden Smith in Trenton, Georgia. We got Howie Cheney up on what do you call that ridge that you're on, Howie?
Sand Mountain, High Point, Alabama.
Eh, Hey, he's out in the middle of nowhere. But welcome to Off the Record with Randall, a very, very special edition. Friend of the show, and hey, I gotta say it, one of my favorite country music artists already. Camden Smith, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, man. I appreciate you having me. Those words mean a lot, man. It's an honor to be here. It's fun. So.
Camden, we've talked about having you on for a while, but I wanted you to have the summer to kind of get where you were going, and then we saw you the other night, and it's like a whole new gear has kicked in. Does
Yeah,
it feel different than for you?
it does, man. I just, kind of figuring out, who I am as far as artist-wise, who I am more, and as I get older, and just like I've, just been practicing pretty much every day. And, Puckett's, that show that y'all were at was at Puckett's in Chattanooga, Tennessee. I had some, I was sick that night, so that was kind of an off night for me. But man, I just pushed through, and it's been fun. I've definitely this summer I've definitely grown a lot as a musician and as an individual. So it's been fun. It's been fun.
Camden, and for the folks that don't know, we did put it in there. He's like one of the most amazing 16-year-olds I've ever met. One good thing about Camden is his dad's got some style, and we'll talk about your dad a little later. Tell him what you tool around town in, Camden.
Yeah, so I'm getting to the age now where I'm starting to drive by myself and all that, and I was first of all, Dad to me is one of my biggest influences as an individual. Man, I'm blessed with a really great dad who cares about me and supports my dreams, and I'd do anything for that guy, But he gifted me with a Cadillac, man. So for a first car, I have a Cadillac, and we've been going to shows, and it's a fun little ride around. He drives it, and I drive it too. It's kind of a community car in a sense, but it's a fun little toy, man.
How are you? You've got to know Camden's music over the last little bit. We've got kids. You've got a couple of kids, one a little older than Camden, one a little younger. It's amazing to see someone his age in maturity and performance. To me, that's what gets me every time. How about you?
Yeah, it really is. He doesn't seem like he's 16. Seems like he's a lot older. Seems like he's a lot older than he really is, and puts on a fantastic show. If you ever get a chance to go see him, you need to go watch him. I'm not a huge country music fan. I enjoy listening to Camden play. He's fantastic.
I appreciate
Well,
it.
Harry, we're breaking up just a little bit, but let's put this show on the road. I got everybody texting me, looking. Hey, man, you've got more people's texts and looking for you, Camden, than we ever had on the show before. So you're already a major hit.
Oh man, it's a blessing. I never would have thought. I was at the shoe store in Kimball, Tennessee, near Whitwell, where that Confederate Railroad. I opened up for Confederate Railroad, and this lady had a Tootsie shirt on, and this lady and I started talking, and I told her that I played music and all that, and she put two and two together, and realized who I was from the Confederate Railroad show. She was there, and she asked for my autograph, and
Oh wow,
it's a blessing, man. God's been really, really cool to us, and I ain't perfect, we all go off track a little bit, but I'm really grateful for the outcome we've had as far as this whole music thing.
So the first question, I'm gonna be really honest with you. Your dad, when you were playing in the triple threat, I think you called it, with our friend of the show, Chris Taylor.
Yeah.
And AJ Morrison.
Yeah, AJ Morrison. Yep.
Your dad invited me to a show, and you were about 13 at the time, and I was like, I'd want somebody to come out and support my daughter.
Yeah.
And I showed up, and I was sitting there going, how old are these kids? And you were a drummer then.
Yes, sir, I was. There's 4 drummers in my family. Myself, Johnny E. Smith, who's the president of Songbirds, and Zach Lovelace, who's played for guys like Big Smo and countless others, and my cousin Johnny's son, Hunter Smith, who's a really working musician and a well-known musician around Chattanooga. I'm proud of him, but drumming's kind of our thing, and I remember Triple Threat, we were a band for, I think, like 2 days, and we literally were a band for 2 days, and we went in a competition, like a kids talent competition in Songbirds when they were doing the kids thing, and out of 30 bands, we placed second. So, yeah.
That was an incredible start. A little bit about Chris, and we'll get into that. Chris just opened up for Alan Jackson. I know he's one of your great friends. Chris is a little older than you. He took off to Nashville right after high school, and he's just killing it over there.
Man, I'm proud of that boy. I kind of get teary-eyed talking about it, man, because he was 17 years old when I first met him, a kid, basically. I'm at the age, I'm about that age now, and I'm super proud of that man. I'm super proud of that kid, and I love him to death. He's a brother of mine. And, it was funny. Our last show together, we did a little acoustic show together at a Mexican restaurant called El Fogón, and we talked about it, and this is right before he moved to Nashville. And I remember sitting in the booth with him, we're both crying, and, because, it was happening. He's moving to Nashville. That's kind of everybody's dream, and he's doing it. And, he took off, and he ran with it, man. Look at where he's at now, playing 2 arenas and 2 nights in a row, Denver, Colorado, and Salt Lake City, Utah, So I'm proud of that guy.
And Chris, we used to catch him over at the Mexican restaurant where you played at just like 6 months ago, and now he's in the arena.
Yeah, it's so weird, man.
It is.
Gosh, he has earned it, and he deserves every bit of it, man. For real.
So in that little setup, you had a pretty soft little gig behind the drums. You really wasn't fronting, but something in your heart had to say, I want to come out behind the drums, and I want to front my own band. When did that first start for you?
Yeah, so I've always known how to play the guitar. I picked up the guitar probably about 8 years old, and I'd always knew how to play it. I was all right, I could play along the songs, and I went to a Christian school from 4th grade to 8th grade, and I got kind of singing at the chapels and services, and I went to a new school, Dade County High School, where I attend now, and I didn't really have a way to break myself in, like everybody has. For example, Randall, the football player, Howie, the basketball player. I didn't really have that. I was just Camden. Nobody knew who I was. So, some baby face from some Christian school, So they had a talent show going on, and I was going to do something with the drums, but nobody would understand technically what was going on behind the kid, right? So,
yeah,
I was like, well, I kind of sing a little bit, and I know how to play guitar. Why not play? I just got some little Jason Aldean song, and there's a pretty interesting story behind that too. This little Jason Aldean song, and I won the talent show, and I was like, well, if I can do that, I just want to go out and see how I do it. And I went to Georgia Has Talent, and just kind of came on. And then May 22nd, I got my first show opening up for a guy at the Brew House, and ever since then, man, it's just been uphill. And I'm really grateful for it, man, for real.
Well, we heard you perfectly. The video's kind of jumping.
Yeah.
Again, we've got the network for everybody listening. We got the network kind of strung, having 3 live feeds on it, but we're trying to pull this off. Howie, did you have a question you wanted to ask Camden about maybe where he's at now?
Yeah, as far as you just mentioned school earlier, being a high school student and all that, have you missed out on anything, or has your life changed becoming a musician? How has your classmates reacted to this?
At first there was a lot of amusement towards it. They found amusement towards it, and they kind of gave me a little bit of heat for it, and it never really did bother me. I'm not much bothers me, like that. And I wouldn't really say I've given up anything being a normal teenager. I mean, I do, hang out with my friends on the weekends when I don't have shows, and even after shows, I go to their house and hang out. And not much has changed, but I think it's kind of funny because I was in Panama with my friends, actually two of my friends, and we were in hot tubs, and I would have to break the ice for every conversation. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like that's kind of an advantage that the music business has given me, is the ability to talk to people. And I mean, there's not anything that I have to sacrifice, but there's a lot of differences. You know what I'm saying?
So, Camden, that's a great question. And you almost wrote your own question there. You have to run in circles. Now, I heard you talking to a restaurant owner one night, and I was so impressed. What was it, being that you're only as old as you are,
Yeah.
you kind of book yourself a lot, don't you?
I do. I'm going to go out here real quick. My phone's about to die, so I'm going to go out here and charge it.
Okay, you go where you need to go.
It's pretty interesting, to me, being in a radio station, talking on, national radio at about 4 years old, talking has been something that I've been blessed with the ability to do so, and there's a lot of things that I do on my off time as I study body language. To me, body language is a big deal. Everything from how you carry yourself, eye contact, and a lot of other things. So I kind of there's a lot of people that I watch actually when it comes to style and how to carry themselves in a conversation. So there's a lot of studying that goes on behind it, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, absolutely. Did you get your phone hooked in where you can get it charged?
Yeah, I'm about to right now. You can keep. Hey,
You're all right, man.
The key.
I'll keep going.
All right.
So
yeah,
now that you're starting to make your name around town, and you're starting to play, you play about once a month at Puckett's, and
yeah,
you play a lot down in Georgia. You got some contacts down there.
Yeah.
And you played at one of my favorite places in the whole world last weekend, Chestnut Station in Gadsden, Alabama.
That place is amazing, man. I love that place.
I love that. I love that place too. And it's been there so long, Camden, that I ran sound in that place probably when I was 22 years old. So that place has been there for a while. And
really,
what's it like? Where's your favorite place to play at so far? Did I lose you?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we got you.
All right.
Camden, can you hear
All
us?
Right, yeah, but
okay.
Yeah. Chestnut Station, man, is a great place. I'm trying to get a show booked there. Actually, I opened up for a buddy of mine, Chase Baker, and there's not many shows where I feel. I mean, I haven't. Let me just put it this way: I haven't felt that good about a performance in a long time. And Chestnut Station, man, 10 out of 10. Recommend you go there, man. I love that place.
Yeah, Howie. That's in your neck of the woods, isn't it?
Yes, it's like a 30-minute drive from where I live at. Like Randy said, that place has been around forever, and that used to be the happening place on weekends, which I'm sure it still is. And you could drive out there and see a lot of big name artists that have actually performed there on weekends, and some of them, had made their name there. And I got a feeling that, here in 10 years, there'll be some people saying, "Hey, you remember that Camden Smith that won that music award last night? We saw him play at Chestnut Station in Gadsden, Alabama."
Yeah, man. I hope so, man. It's pretty scary, being a junior. I just started, my first day of my junior year 2 days ago, and or 3 days ago, being Thursday of last week, and it's like, it's here. Like yesterday, I was a freshman. You know what I'm saying? And here I am now, a junior, and it's like I'm 1 year away from it's time. When I graduated, it's time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So I know you don't. everyone that you play with now, and every place you go has got its own little special thing about it. So far, where's your favorite place locally to play? Do you like? I really think when we're at Puckett's, you're able to put on a great show. That's a great little venue. But is there some place that you've played you went, wow, if I could have the perfect stage, this is it?
Yeah, that's a hard question. I have 4 places like that. I mean, it's so it's hard. Um, you know, um, I would have to say one being the Brew House in Rome, Georgia, which is now Peaches. 2, Puckett's. Songbirds when it was open,
Oh, yeah.
Songbirds South, and Chestnut Station. I really enjoyed Chestnut.
That's a great, man, just to play all those places already. That's incredible. I mean, that's great.
Yeah.
I know you had to move away from your guitar. Maybe later on in the show we can get one song out of you.
Yeah, maybe. I'm about to have to go. I'm actually on Sand Mountain right now in Henniger, Alabama. So when we get home, if we're still on here, but man, for 16 years old, having worked for opened up for Danny Shirley and met Jason Aldean's drummer Rich Redmond, it's like it's crazy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and you've got a great relationship with, I know, a couple of Cole Wenzel's guys. The drummer.
We went and saw Cole Wetzel in Maryville, Tennessee a couple weeks ago, and his tour manager knew Dad from professional wrestling, and he got us tickets. I've seen Cole Wetzel live probably about 3 times, and he got us tickets and all that. But this time he gave me a signed set list, and he let us meet Cole, man. And Cole's my hero. There's no doubt about it. He is my hero. He is, my one of my biggest music influences, and I got to meet him. And they always say don't meet your hero because he'll be disappointed, but that was one of the best experiences that I've ever had.
Awesome. Now we're going to switch subjects a little bit. Knowing your dad and following you since you started, you got a couple of guitars you really love, and
I do
a couple guitars with some stories behind them. Let's start with the one you started with, and I went to high school with this guy, but it's a guitar that used to belong to Rance Helton, and that guitar seems to mean the world to you. What's the story behind it?
It does, man, and that guitar has had blood on it, tears, sweat. I mean, that guitar has been with me through everything, and so there's a gentleman by the name of Rance Helton who purchased my first guitar for me. He gifted it to me, and which I'm very thankful for Rance, man. He made that investment that changed my life, genuinely. And, he gave me and Dad the guitar, the Great Divide guitar. It's a Sunburst Great Divide. There's many pictures of it on my social media. It's a Sunburst Great Divide. And he gave it to us, and about 2 weeks later, he passed away. And that guitar, it sat around for a little bit, collecting dust, and one day I looked at it and I was like, Rance wouldn't want the guitar sitting there, just sitting there. And I've played Songbirds I've played on stage at Songbirds with that guitar. I played on stage with that, opened up for Confederate Railroad. I played on stage at the Brew House. Everywhere that I've played, that guitar's been.
That's awesome.
And I want Rance to see it. I want Rance to look down and be proud. It's kind of a touchy subject, but I'm looking forward to the day where I can thank him.
Yeah, and just I knew a little bit of the story, and I'll be honest with you, Dad has told that story, and the fact that it was sitting there and you started playing it, that's exactly what anyone would want.
Yeah.
Now, you just got a new guitar, and I saw. Look, man, I'm just going to go ahead and draw a conclusion. There was a lot of hard work went into buying your latest guitar. Tell us a little bit about Hank.
Yeah, Hank is my new Gibson J45. It's a red wine limited edition. That thing is beautiful. You know, I had a J45 Epiphone, and I broke it on stage actually. Um, and I love that style of guitar, J45. I love that style, and so you know, I was thinking maybe fix the headstock because the headstock broke on it, and
Yeah.
maybe fix the headstock and glue it on together or whatever. And you know, I was at rehearsal and Dad was like, "Hey, come here, I gotta tell you something." And that scared. I thought somebody had passed away or something. It scared me, you know. And he was like, he told me that I was going to get the Gibson, and I was like, I cried. I really did. I cried, man, because that's my dream. Every time that I've played a Gibson, it seems so far away to actually have one that I own in my hands. You know what I'm saying? And it came in, and I got to play my first show with it at Puckett's actually, and it was weird. It was like I should be saying, all right, thank you for letting me play the guitar. Here it is, you know what I'm saying? But it's
Right.
my guitar, you know, and it's crazy. It's a feeling that I really can't describe. I mean, I'm sure there's people out there, Gibsons are, you know, I could buy one right now, but you know, to me, for a 16-year-old dude, it's a big deal, you know, and I'm very very grateful for it, man. And
It's a beautiful guitar too. It's a different color red. What is that color?
It is. It's red wine. It's like I really don't, a cherry kind of. I named it Hank after the Bass Pro Hank Cherry. I'm a really big fan of him. Cherry,
really?
because it's red. So Hank Cherry, you know, and obviously Hank Sr. and Hank Williams Jr. They've both had a big influence on my music career, and so you know, little cool, little respect thing. So
it's great. I tell you, I was really blown away by the residence that you got out of Hank. It was really, it adds something to the performance that you have. That guitar kind of rings and has a sound of itself.
You know, it does. It really does, and that's what I love. And in a guitar is the like individuality. You know, it's like snowflakes. No two are alike. And you know, I mean, you got to realize that guitar right there. That that a Gibson like that, man, could last somebody their lifetime. Really.
Yeah.
And it does. I feel like, you know, the old saying, you know, you look good, you play good, you know, or you know, the better what you have, the better you play. I feel like, just because you're more comfortable. I'm the most comfortable I've ever been with that guitar, and it just feels natural, you know.
It looked good. Now we're going to switch subjects for just a minute. First of all, I know, and Howie, your question will follow up my little introduction here. I know we both were big fans, and your dad was a big fan. We just recently lost Bobby Eaton. Shout out to the Eaton family. I know we all love the Eaton family. I got to know Bobby a little bit myself. He's a great guy. But that brings me to your dad, man, the guy that he would be probably uncomfortable if he knew I was going to talk about him in the show. But your dad was an influence on mine back in the day. Your dad, former pro wrestler Pat Rose, broke into the business at 18 years old.
Yep,
and,
19 years old, yes sir.
Yeah, he's he's been all around the world. And Howie, do you have that question? I thought it was to the point that you wanted to ask Camden.
Yes. Can you see, or can you see any similarities between you and your dad
As far as the journey, he broke up on us, but
yeah,
he sent in a question about wanting the similarities between the journey you're taking and your dad took in pro wrestling.
Man, 100%. There's similarities. You know, the music business and the wrestling business are so similar. It's crazy, man. You know, there's people that disagree, but you know, it's cool. And to have somebody like him that, you know, have done the miles with me and teaching me the importance of, you know, respecting the people that came before you and paying your dues and all that. And it's kind of cool because all the people that I know, their dads, them and their dad bonds by like going to the park or something. You know what I'm saying? And me and him bond by being on the road, which I love. You know, and I wouldn't trade it for the world, man.
All right, let's give a second. We're getting a little static, so let's give a second. So, your dad and you travel together when you have shows, and I think that's great. Your dad is like your personal little mentor. So when you were first starting, you didn't even have a driver's license. How did your dad get you back and forth from shows?
Yeah, it was a lot of. Can you hear me? Good.
It's breaking up a little bit. Hold on, I'm gonna try something, Camden. Stay with us. Just stay with. Just 1 second. Flush. Pause. But we'll be right back. Hey, Camden,
You there?
Oh, there you are. You can start again.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Maybe get a little closer to the mic. Try again.
So
Yeah, perfect.
Your audio is still cracking a little bit, but
Okay.
the similarities between the wrestling business and the music business, and how I got back and forth from shows. There was a lot of sacrifice going on to it. Until I got my permit. Which honestly, I didn't go a long time doing the frontman thing without a permit or without a driver's anything. So there's a handful of shows that he had to drive to and all that, but my big thing is trying to put miles under my belt, man. You know what I'm saying? And it's pretty cool.
Can you hear my audio now?
It's still cracky.
Okay. We'll try to, if it gets where you can't hear us, just give a thumb up and I'll try to reset it.
All right.
So what do you think your dad can teach you about show business or the presentation from pro wrestling to the stage? Is it that psychology of pro wrestling that you can bring now?
So as far as like working the crowd and stuff like that?
Yes.
Yeah. So there's it's pretty cool actually. Music is a lot like a wrestling match. You high spots, low, taking breaks, whatever the case may be. Same thing with songs. You want to play a few fast songs, a few slow songs, and give yourself a break. And it's a lot like a wrestling match. And a lot of people see it as somebody on stage playing guitar. And it's kind of cool because, even when you're wrestling, it's like you're still thinking. As I'm singing, I'm looking at the crowd, observing their body language, observing how they're acting. Okay, do I need to speed it up? Are they still in the mood for slow songs? What's going on? And that's a thing that, Dad's taught me. And that's, like I said, another similarity between the wrestling business and the professional wrestling business,
All right, buddy. I'm telling you. Hey, Howie, you can unmute. Let's see if we can hear you now. Howie, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear. I've been hearing the whole thing.
Well, at least we sound good.
But we never look good. Maybe we can sound good.
Yeah, well, Camden's definitely the eye candy of this crowd. If we're starting a trio, we're hurting here with two of us. Go
Man, do you mind if I ask a question real quick?
Yeah.
I want to jump back to the school thing. I've been to Puckett twice, and Randy saw you a lot more than I have. But I've noticed that you have a lot of support from, it seems like your classmates that comes out and support you and all that. What does that mean to you?
Man, it means the world to me. Teenagers, at this time in our lives, at this age, Saturdays are really important. You know what I'm saying? And it's pretty. It means the world, the absolute world to me that they come and support me. I have a group of friends that I roll with, and they're there at every show. They buy. I try to avoid it, but they buy the merch. I try to give it to them. They won't take it unless I take something. And those are the people right there that are that are real ones. They're family to me. And I have two friends, Grant Moore, who I've been friends with since I was in diapers, and we've been friends since we were in diapers. And Lucas Costley, and those are my boys. You know what I'm saying? We've been through a lot with each other, and those boys are definitely gonna be riding on the tour bus with me if I ever get to be blessed with one.
I just want a backstage pass because I hear they have a buffet backstage. I want I want to try that. I want to try that good buffet.
I just want to be able to say that I talked to you personally once.
Do what, Camden? I didn't hear
I
you.
said I didn't see the buffet at Puckett's, but next time I'll be looking for it. I'm all about some buffets now.
Yeah. All right, let's switch one more time. Let's switch just a little bit back to something that I'm amazed. You wrote and released your first single. What was that process like for you?
You know, it was pretty cool. You know, it's kind of a whole story. You know, there's this girl I used to go to school with. I went to a Christian school up here on Center Mountain, actually, and we used to go to school together. And, you know, we had kind of gotten mad at each other and all that. You know how it goes. We got mad at each other. And, you know, Chase Baker, I was playing a show with him, and Heart Attack. He played Heart Attack during sound check before it was released and everything, you know. And I mean, it was crazy. It really touched me. And, you know, I texted her and we made things right and all that. And I had a dream one night, actually. Really, I remember the dream like it was yesterday, man. And I woke up in the middle of the night, probably about 2 a.m. on the school, Sunday night, maybe. And I wrote this whole song without a guitar, just laying in my bed, typing it out. It probably took me about 5 minutes. And then I went to school and went in my art room. And the art teacher had a little intern. And he had a guitar, and me and him were good friends. And so he let me borrow his guitar, and I went and took a little side room, locked myself in there. And I did a little voice memo of, you know, a melody I had in my head. And I went home and cleaned it up, and then it turned into what it is. And then we finally got to bring it in the studio. And that was a pretty cool process, man. You know, I had my uncle, Johnny Smith, on drums. He's played drums for Travis Tritt, Kenny Chesney, and everybody you can think of, man. And he played drums on it, which was a huge honor. Dran Michael Lewis, he played all the stringed instruments, and he produced it. His wife, Amber Carrington Lewis, sang background vocals, and Josh Grambling of Radio Romance, which is a really well-known band in Nashville, he played the little guitar solo, man. It's a sick guitar solo. But I got signed out of school on November 17th. We went to the studio, got there about 11 a.m., and didn't leave till about 9 that night, man. And it was work. It was work. Every hour was work, and it was fun. I'm really, really grateful for that team giving me the effort that they gave me. You know what I'm saying? Being so young and so new at the studio game. So it was fun. It was really fun. Do what?
You released it on January the 1st. So you only had a little bit of time to get that date in. So to record it in one day, everybody had to be dedicated. That was tough.
You know, we didn't get it sent. We didn't get the mastered version until probably about December 25th. You know, Christmas Day or a little bit day after Christmas or something. So it was like real close. And we thought we were going to change the release date, but we didn't. And man, when that song came out, and I looked on iTunes, and my name was there, and the picture, and you know everything else. It's almost like, to me, it's almost like having a kid. Something you work so hard to create, and it comes out to be some beautiful thing. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that was a night full of tears. I can tell you that, right? Happy tears. You know.
Yeah, you touched me on Facebook that night or Instagram. You went live and you were like, I don't know if it was the shock of, hey, I did it. I don't even think you cared if anybody really understood what you were going through. You just wanted people to go listen to it. And that was your plea.
Yeah.
Just go get it. Listen to it. Give me a chance.
Yeah, man, you know, and then I got to sit in the truck with my grandpa, and I heard it for the first time on the radio, you know?
Oh, wow.
And that was weird, you know? And it was like, what am I doing on the radio? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, who did I trick? You know what I'm saying? And, you know, and then learning it's been being played in, you know, almost every state in the country. It's like, it's really wild, man. And, you know, that I went live that night, and it was just pure emotion. You know, the three emotions that I felt that night that was overwhelmed, that are overly whelming that I was feeling, was gratefulness, relief, and happiness.
Awesome. Awesome. Can you hang about 15 more minutes and we'll call it a night? You got another 15 or so?
Probably 10 if that's cool.
That's cool. That's very cool. So let's get on to a little bit of we're going to ask you some do you have any follow up to that before we go into the reaction segment?
Well, I've actually got a question. I was at Puckett's a couple of weeks ago and heard you play, and you sung a new song that you had just wrote on vacation. How did that come about? Was you sitting on the beach and have a notepad and pencil, or was you strumming the guitar and it just come to your head? Or I mean, tell us about coming up with songs, writing the songs that you come up with.
Yeah, well, that I was on vacation, and and there's a couple situations that went on, that wasn't fun. So kind of as a decompress kind of thing, I went down to the beach. It probably, and I wouldn't say too late, 12, something like that. And I was right on the water. It was dark, and I just had this chord progression in my head, and I was like, And so I just literally wrote how I felt on the thing, and it was cool. It came out to be a pretty cool song, and there was a few ad-libbing parts at Puckett's to get the point across, but it's a pretty neat song.
Cool. Well, I know as soon as you got done singing, Randy looked at me and said, "I love it. I love that song."
I love your first song, and I'll always be a fan of that. But something about that song, the chord progression brought emotion out of me, and that's what a song should do. Is when you put a series of chords together that touches somebody's heart. Go ahead.
That was I'm gonna be real with you right now, man. That what you saw was probably the rawest emotion wise you'll see me on stage.
It was awesome.
That was I had a lot of things on my mind, and that was real. So
that was it. Hey, it was. I'm a big fan, and I'll tell you that's one of my favorite moments I've ever seen you. All right, let's plug the merch. Camden Smith hats, Camden Smith shirts.
Yeah, man. I got shirts. The Camden Smith show. They're $25 a piece, man. You can get them from smalls to double XLs, and I got shirts for kids and big boys too, man. And we got the hats. We got Richardson hats that says the Camden Smith show on it. If you want one, private message me. The Venmo is the Camden Smith Show, all one word. You can go follow me on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter at Camden Smith Music, and you can go find me on iTunes, Spotify, and every music streaming platform. Just look up "I Don't Want to Miss You" by Camden Smith, and it should be there, man. And I appreciate you guys supporting me. I appreciate y'all, letting me be on this thing, man. So it's fun. So go look me up and go play the music, man.
Absolutely. Last 2-minute segment here. I wanted to get a quick reaction. I'm going to throw some names at you. You just give me your first reaction. Start with your dad.
My dad.
Your dad. I know it's a tough one.
There's too many words to describe that, man. Crazy, selfless, hilarious, and genuine.
That's awesome. That's a relationship everybody should strive to have with their son. Johnny Smith.
Honest, blunt, loving, giving, and selfless.
All right. One I didn't even tell you about. It's kind of my secret one. Ben Birchfield.
Talented, wild, and faithful. He's been with me through, I remember my first show was at a birthday party in a cabin in Rising Fawn, and he was there. you know, and then him. It's kind of weird, you know, because I looked over. I look over to my right, and I see Ben at the cabin, and I'm on stage in front of 1,100 people. I look over and I see Ben playing guitar with me at one of my biggest shows. You know, that guy has been with me at every show that I've ever played.
He's got it too. I mean, he can make a guitar ring.
I'm proud of that kid.
Chase Baker.
He's my brother. I can tell you that. He's real. He's real. He's talented. He's a hard worker. And he's very selfless because of what he's done for me in the music business, man. You know, as a kid that doesn't know anybody, and him being one of the biggest dudes in Rome and the surrounding areas, and for him to take me under his wing and teach me a lot really means the world to me, dude. You know, there's not a lot of people in the music business that you'll meet that genuinely cares about you, you know?
Yeah. Well, Howie, if you can get your mic back on, Camden, we'll cut it there. We could talk to you for an hour, man. I got to say from the bottom of my heart, we're going to post this a bunch of places. It'll be on iTunes. It'll be on Spotify. Our channel, River City Media, will have it. It'll be on the Marion Messenger in a little while. Howie, you got anything to close? And then I got one comment, and we'll let Camden get out of here.
Camden, if I knew you was going to be in Henniger, I'd invite you over. I'm 5 minutes from where you're probably at, and we could have been on the show together. But man, it's been an honor being able to talk to you today. And I've been to 2 of your concerts, performances, and I plan on going to many, many more, man. I enjoy listening to you. Best of luck, man.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, man.
Camden, you got a form anytime you want it here. Anytime you want to get something advertised, feel free. The music's great. I love your dad to death. He's a good man. I'm going to tell you what makes me the biggest fan to you. You're a good kid, man, and you're going to make a great man and a great artist. All of us are out here rooting for you, buddy. If we here at River City can ever help you, let us know, buddy.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much, man.
Thank y'all. Next time I have the guitar, we'll get you on here and let's do a little singing.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I will.
You done great, Camden.
All right.
Everybody, this is Off the Record with
Love
Randall.
y'all, man.
Thank Camden Smith, Howie Cheney. We'll see you same time next week.